in the news. Brothers, today we are going to look up for the effects of poor upbringing for the children. Welcome and join me. You will agree with me in this aspect in the world we have. There has been a big discussion in a society about poor upbringing for the children, where it has led to not knowing exactly what the source of all this is. Join me in this lesson. Why today there has been a large group of children who do not obey their parents or their guardians, and it has been causing a fierce battle of thoughts and attitudes between parents or guardians, where parents believe that children have built extreme pride and stubbornness in them because of globalization of the world of science and technology, which is the source of pride, stubbornness, instance of crime of any kind, that young people are involved in a large percentage. The question is one, is there any truth to this matter? But let's go back to the youth side. A large percentage blames that inappropriate upbringing has been one of the biggest reasons for them to look for other ways to find life, believing that the guardians have attitudes that constrain them in finding life, so that if they believe that continue to listen to the ideas of guardians or parents is the same as waiting for a man on the ground of a coconut tree. This situation has led young people who deserve to live with their parents first until they reach the age that would enable them to manage themselves and realize themselves to move from home, others to run away from home to find life while they are still there. Let's ask ourselves, are the effects and the attitudes of poor upbringing based on their upbringing from parents or young people or children the source according to the current generation? Or poor upbringing is the result of the globalized world we have? What is the real source? There is a lot that we see and hear more and more about quarrels and differences in mental attitudes between parents and children. There are children who decide to leave their homes believing that their parents or guardians do not love them. Also, some have left seeing that they are not getting their basic rights such as education, clothing, and food. But some children have left their homes because of the never-ending quarrels at home, which has lasted for a long time, which has been a problem for them. Even some are unable to study well because of quarrels, and even others have failed to continue with the studies because of the quarrels and the alcohol that has endured in large amounts and for a long time. Where is the fate of all this? Who is the creator of all this? And what can be done to free this generation? Should we continue to believe that globalization is a part of the destruction for all this? But what responsibility does a parent have for children? And what responsibility does a child have for a parent? Let's go back and see how the whole books talk about responsibility. Today we may come out with answers. If you look in the whole Bible, the book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 1, say this: Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 4 says, "And you fathers, do not provoke your children, but bring them up in the manners and admonitions of the Lord." And if you read the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 20, it says, "You children, obey your parents in all things, for these things is pleasing in the Lord." Then let's look at the book of Colossians chapter 3 and verse 21, which says, "Fathers, do not provoke your children, lest they give up." All these books point well on the right education for both sides. Parents have the responsibility to ensure that the children they have are brought up in the best manner and they do not provoke their children in any way so that they do not reject them. Also, the children have the responsibility to obey their parents because this manner is good in the sight of the Lord. And also, through obedience, that is where the right for the child is found. The truth will remain to be truth. If we give out globalization, which seems to be the biggest disaster of all the things, you will realize that the main character is you with the parent, and it is you with the child, because everything we do is the result of our tomorrow life in the form of education, the family dynamics in general. If we delve deeper, no chick will grow up in the good condition if it is not well embraced. The parents are responsible for ensuring that the children are brought up in the best care, with love, with peace, and happiness. We will certainly not have baseless complaints because no child deviates without following the trends of society and family. Today, we are complaining because of the results of the things that have already been done by our predecessors. And in the end, you will realize that you are the source of everything in the coming generation. It is good that we live in the best way to create a generation that is better than the one we have. Until this point, let me welcome you for another time and wish you a good time